still on SWOT analysis. For SWOT analysis, we talked in the last class we talked about how to gather information, which is either through the internal audit or external audit. Remember the internal audits, these are information gathered that affects the business itself, that are within the reach of the business. These are internal audits. And for external audits, these are information that needs to be gathered out of the business and they are beyond the business control. So, but they need to find a way around them. Examples of external audits are the place-to analysis, the political, the economical, technological, environmental, and I think there's still one legal factor. These are place-to analysis. All these ones are part of external audits, and they are beyond the control of the business. But today's focus is really SWOT analysis itself. Now that we've gathered information through internal and external audit, it is important for us to present those information in a meaningful way. So to present them in a meaningful way, we might need to use a SWOT analysis. So that is why we have to talk about SWOT analysis this morning. So here I'm going to read and explain. What is SWOT analysis? It is helpful if the information gathered can be then summarized and presented in a meaningful way. So we're going back to the information we've gathered through the internal and external audit. So now that we've gathered this information, it is important for us to summarize them in a meaningful way. That is where SWOT analysis comes in. So this involves looking at the internal strengths and weaknesses of a business and the external opportunities and threats that it faces. So when we're using this SWOT analysis, it simply means we want to understand the internal strengths and weakness of the business itself and the external opportunities and threats that the business will face that are beyond the control of the business. So we go on. So it is an analytical tool that can help managers with complex decisions. So as managers who have put up together different teams that have given him or her information that has been gathered. So it is for the manager to now take, because the manager is in charge of the day-to-day running of the business. So it is left for the manager to make decisions. So for him or her to be able to make a thoughtful and meaningful decision, then it needs to put up this SWOT analysis. So we start. SWOT analysis might be used by senior managers before drawing up a strategic plan. It helps to give an idea of the advantages and disadvantages of a particular decision. It might also help to make the current position of a business easier to understand. So we need a strategic plan, how to execute our action. So to execute our action, we need to know where we are as a business, where we are supposed to be as a business, and what are the threats and opportunities out there that we are supposed to improve upon. So, and that's about the advantages and disadvantages of our interest, our strengths, our weakness, the opportunities and the threats. So we start with the strengths. What is strengths? Strengths, these are the positive aspects of a business that may be identified from the internal audit. So when we talk about the strength of a business, you can only gather information about the strength of the business through internal audit, because these are gathering information within the business, which will be the skills of your employees, your output, your production level, the way you have expanded your business, your managers, your workforce. These are internal audits. Then they said strengths are what the business is good at. They are what help make the business a success. Examples might include, so we call it a strength, we call it the business strength because this is what gives the business the position it is in the market. This is what increases the market share of the business. This is what the business is in terms of success. This is how to define the success of a business. So the success of a business can be defined through the strength which we get with the internal audit. So examples of strengths are a respected, intelligent, inspirational, and visionary leader. You're having a leader that is intelligent, that can hold its own when it comes to competing with competitors. A highly motivated and loyal workforce. You have workers that will always want to stick with you. They don't want to leave for all your competitors. They want to continue working with you with efficiency. A product with a unique selling point, a product with a USP, that means your product is just so different from those of your competitors. These are still strengths. That means your product is so different from your competitors. It's part of the strength of the business. State-of-the-art production facility. So here we're talking about your premises, how it looks like. It is so, it is so big and huge, and it is, it entails everything that is supposed to be needed within a firm or within an organization. It has everything it will use to flourish. That is state of the art. So big and gigantic. A loyal customer, in essence, people who buy the product. So another strength of a business through internal audit is the loyalty of your customers. Do you have customers that will always want to return? Do you have customers that will always stick with your brand? That is also a strength of the business. And the last one, an innovative marketing department. In essence, one that uses new methods and ideas. You have a marketing department that comes up with different new ways of doing things. So these are internal strengths. These are examples of internal strengths which can be gathered through the internal audits. So these are the strengths of a business. Then we go to the weakness. Which weakness is part of the SWOT analysis. So for weaknesses, these are the negative aspects of a business that may be identified from the internal audit. So when we call it weaknesses because these are the things that the business is not doing well. These are the things that the business needs to improve upon. So these are gathered also from the internal audit. Weaknesses are what the business lacks or does poorly. For example, in relation to its competitors, they are the characteristics that undermine the performance of the business, perhaps preventing it from growing. So for weaknesses, these are things that stops the business from growing. So the business would have exceeded where it is, but it's not moving because it has some weakness. It has things that it's not doing well. It has things that it needs to improve upon. So those things that it needs to improve upon are the weakness when it's compared to those of its competitors. Other examples of weaknesses are a poorly motivated workforce with a high staff turnover. In essence, the rate at which workers leave. So one of the weaknesses would be workers leaving your organization. The rate of staff turnover is high. So if the rate of staff turnover is high, it means the business is not doing well to keep hold of its employees or of its existing employees. So to start losing them to competitors. And this is not good for the business. There won't be consistency. That is our weakness. The second one, an organizational structure that has too many layers of management. You might have an organizational structure that is tall. And because it is tall, part of the problem might be communication. And if communication is a problem, then people will not be doing the right thing at the right time. Information will not be adequate. So it could be a weakness of the business. So what a business could do when it has too many layers of management is to delay layering. So delayering means you are reducing the number of hierarchy. You are cutting down the number of hierarchy to make it effective. The third one, a product range that is getting out of date. You have a product that is getting saturated. The business, it's a weakness because other businesses are coming up with new products. So it is important for the business for it to remain relevant. It's important for it to start looking for a way to extend the product life cycle. Poor cash flow and growing debt. For poor cash flow, that means the business is not managing its cash flow well. It's something the decision making about cash in and out is not, the business is not doing it well. And this could be because they give so much credit out to customers. It has a lot of credit customers. And having a lot of credit customers to appeal customers, it's not appealing because it means you are not doing well. It holds cash out of the business, or probably the business holds a lot of assets. Having a lot of assets will reduce your cash outflow, will reduce your cash flow. That's another problem which the business has to manage. And the growing debt, if the business is having a lot of debt, it means it has to be paying a lot of interest. And paying a lot of interest increases the expenses of the business, and that will definitely reduces the cash inflow. Then the next one, the last one, outdated tools and machinery. The business is still in the old-fashioned equipment. The business is still using outdated equipment, outdated technology. These ones will not be faster and they won't be able to compete with competitors. That's a weakness that the business must also try to work on. A poorly presented and out-of-date website. The business is not always updating its website. Businesses should endeavor they update their website because their websites are the link to which customers can always reach them. So if the business is not updating its website, it means the business is not informed. It means the business is not up to date, and that's not really good for a business. So it is a weakness also. So these are weaknesses. These are the strengths and the weaknesses of a business, which can be gathered through information from the internal audit. Now we go to the external audit.